Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. I am Ty, the girl behind Moments to Memories, by Ty on Instagram, by Ty on TikTok too. And I'm trying to work my blog. My blog is just pitiful right now. It's just not going anywhere. But I thought I would do a face-to-face video so that we can go through the Week in the Life project by Allie Edwards. This will be the 5th year I have completed this project. So in today's video, well, I'm making a series, but today is video 1, and in this video I will be showing you a quicker walk through my 4 previous albums. So when I will say, when I first started the project, I would simply use like my stash and just like a scrapbooking kit. It wasn't until last year that I actually purchased Allie Edwards' kit and album and all her kind of things that she does with the project. I will leave the link down below for Allie Edwards' project it's called Week in the Life. So the details will be linked down below if you haven't heard of this project. But in essence, the project is to do a detailed snapshot of what your life looks like right now. So I think if you are someone that doesn't memory keep as much as I do, if you did Week in the Life in May or June, that's when we're doing it, as the community is in June, but I'm gonna be doing mine in May. And maybe like December daily or like a holiday book at the end of the year and break them up into 6 months. I think that's more than enough memory keeping for a year as well. This project is to dive deep into the routines of your everyday life. What I find special so far about this project is that since I started it 4 years ago, I started it when I first became a mom. But this project can be special even if you are single right now, you, yourself, and your dog or something, and do Week in the Life. Then perhaps, the following year you happen to already get engaged. Your life would look different. Your routines change. Where you live changes. What kind of car you drive changes. Your job may change. And that's the beauty of this. And then say the following year, oh my gosh, you became a mom that 3rd year. And then the 3rd year that you've done this project, your life looks entirely different again. So then you can look back 3 years ago when I was single and it was just me and my dog at my apartment, to when I happen to be engaged and living with my husband, and now I have a child. This is why we do the project, okay? So when you see my albums, you'll also notice that I did very minimal embellishing, meaning that I just did pocket pages or a few big photos outside of the pocket pages, and that was it. I did my journaling by hand. I think I still do my journaling by hand because the extra step of typing it, I like to kind of be in the moment, and I write my journaling out on the cards the day of. That really helps me. So these are some tips in order for you to have a successful Week in the Life project. What also has helped me, I feel, is that when you see my albums, because I just flipped through them before I filmed this so I can kind of get a grasp, is that you need to pick out a formula for your album. It cuts down on the guesswork and some of that creative, hesitance that happens. Meaning that you'll notice that, for instance, and I'll just let you know, like for instance, the beginning of most of all 4 of my books, like the Monday, the Tuesday, the opening page to it, I always wanted a big photo. So I always had to start with a 6x8. So it was always my favorite photo of the day. So I knew that per day, I knew I was looking for that favorite one that I knew this is my 6x8 folder to print for Week in the Life. Then I knew per day I wanted to have at least 4 4x6s. Then you would kind of know which ones you had to go through, and always in that landscape view. So these are the formulas that you want to kind of set up, knowing ahead of time going into the project. It's a very good project. For me as well, when you see this, things that I notice kind of change or stay the same, say like your morning routines, that is either going to stay the same or change. My job has changed. My morning habits have changed. Vale went from being a bottle to making formula, and now we just have chocolate milk at night, and she doesn't have that morning bottle. Or the bottle dryer is not on my kitchen counters anymore. So that picture, I do that one each year because it changes. The contents of my refrigerator, I have done that video every year too, where, before it's stocked with like all the food I used to puree and make baby food with, and now it's stocked with like fruit and cut up stuff because that's what she snacks on now. These are the great moments and the great memory keeping that is this project. So we're going to start off with video 1, this one, walk through all of my previous albums. I will return probably, I don't know if I'm going to do weekly or maybe 2 a week just to get it done, because I am doing the 2nd week in May is the week I'm trying to do it. The reason why I chose May, I've always done it in June, like mid-June or something, because I always felt like it was 6 months. It was mid-year, and then I did December daily in December, so June was always that marking for me. However, for me, because I have a school-age child now, I actually want to move it up a little bit when she's still in school. I want to have the school week routine in this year's album. So that's why I'm trying to pick a week in May where there's no holiday and nothing really on our schedule yet, meaning like a birthday party or an outing or something that's kind of out of the norm for that week. I just want a typical, I hate to say it, but like typical normal week, what we go through. Because things, like I said, do change. And the stories that I know I want to capture, I'm already like kind of formulating in my head. Because like, for instance, school drop off, me and Miguel are now alternating that because she's having a real tough time going to school. And so those are the stories that I want to capture in this project. So if this sounds interesting to you, if this is your first time kind of going into Week in the Life, or if you have done Week in the Life and you're just here for some inspiration on how to tackle it, because I always like to get this project done within a week or two of getting my photos, and that's it. Like I do it and it's done. I'm not one that likes to leave these pending. I've never had December daily pending. I never have this pending. They're complete. And so hopefully coming along the way with me, you'll see that process and maybe work alongside me. My video 2 will definitely be supplies and like equipment that I use. I am actually, for that video 2, I am just using my phone. I am not breaking out my DSLR camera. I have a golden doodle, like a standard golden doodle, and my 4-year-old, and I just fear that the camera will break because someone or something or my dog will knock it over. So it's going to be all from my phone, so it's doable. So that's going to be video number 2, supplies, equipment, and approach. And then in that approach video, I will kind of give you ideas on what could be like a repeating theme for that opening page and just things I've done. So that'll be video number 2. Video number 3, I feel I'm going to sort of tackle and attempt a vlog so that you can kind of see, me and the things I'm doing. Obviously, it'll probably be me filming it from my point of view, but maybe I'll get some footage somehow with my husband's help on like how I'm setting up perhaps the tripod to get the photo of me doing something, maybe with the kids. That is something that I want to capture. So that'll be like vlog. It will be number 3. So once I'm done vlogging and I put that video up, I'll probably send my pictures to be developed because I'm probably not going to print them at home. And when we get them back, we'll put the album together. So that'll be video 4. So if you want to come along on this Week in the Life journey with me, it's a little earlier than the rest of the community or when Allie Edwards is doing it. By all means, please join me. Please hit the subscribe button, hit the little bell notification next to when you subscribe, and you'll get alerted when I upload these videos, and then give this video a thumbs up. So let's turn the camera around so that you are aerial, and we will go through my albums right now. And if you have any comments, any questions, please leave a comment down below. I will be happy to answer them. And what I'll also do is leave the playlist down below for all of these flip throughs. That'll probably be a little bit more detailed in case you do have further questions, because I know I filmed at least the flip through. I don't know if I've ever completely made process videos, because this project too, I do it in like bits and pieces, but there might be I can't remember all the way if I've done it all. But thank you for being here and joining me. Let's turn the camera around and get flipping through my albums. Okay, so let's take a flip through each album. I have 2 in one, and then these are individual years. So I've done it for 4 years total. And my style, like most projects, does evolve with time. And I will say that this was the year, the last year, where I did purchase the Allie Edwards kit and album. And she just makes great products specifically for it. But in the beginning, I was just using scrapbook collections and stuff, which is also very doable. So do what is comfortable and what you like, and that way you will cherish these albums. So this first year this is a Becky Higgins album. I used to have a sticker here that came off, so I'm going to have to make a new one. And I definitely have put 2 years into it, but I didn't know I could. Here's the second one, 2019, until that second year had come. So what I will point out some things that are helpful in going through project life. First thing is that you need some sort of formula. Okay. And what I mean by that is that there are certain things in these albums that I repeated. So for instance, I always had an acetate in this one, and then the day of the week, and I had stamped and heat embossed the date. I've done it traditionally in the month of June to kind of split up December daily as well as this one, which they'll be 6 months apart. So then in 2019, I did a similar thing with the whole name. Then I also used some gold Heidi Swapp paint splatter and then just stamped the date there. And that's how each day of the week was repeated. Another thing I've done in this one, or in this year, my opening page that always leaned on here was always a palm tree picture. So that was just something that I constantly seeked out. So here's Tuesday, for instance, where I did another palm tree picture in the back. That way it gives reference to where I'm living, just in case I ever move to somewhere colder, the trees might be different, is how I kind of look at that. So then in 2019, for instance, since this was the cover page, I didn't have that opening large photo, and I probably started each day with the journal cards that match the pattern paper. So I can see that kind of repeating already. So here's Tuesday, yeah. And then I had the journal card match. So we opened up every day here with this format of 2 3x4s and a 4x6. These are just things to keep in mind. So similarly, let's just kind of scatter around. In my 2020 album, I still had the acetate. So this one's just a different polka dot. And then what I went through, and I think this is the formula I've kept for a while, is just my favorite photo of the day that I made a large print. So I would always have 2 in 2020. I did 2 each day. So here's Tuesday, and then there was a large one, and not so much, but another one. So choose a formula that you know you're going to like to repeat on that opening page. So here's 2021. And again, I had an acetate where I printed out, and I had a large full page photo. And I'm sure it repeated, let's see, too, for another days. Yeah, so Wednesday, large full page photo. And then I did like a 5x7. So that is something to keep in mind when you are approaching this project. Just a small formula, you'll have some success. This one, I made my own journal card. So this was a cut file that I got off of the Silhouette Design Team or Design Studio website. And that I did repeat into the next year as well. So I've used that cut file twice. And then I just always matted it in this year on just black cardstock, it seems. What I love about this too, things to keep in mind, your current routines. What does your morning routine look like? What does the evening routine look like? Taking pictures of your rooms. For instance, this is what it looked like in 2018 when Vale was a baby. And since then, these paper flowers are down because she was diagnosed with asthma shortly afterwards due to dust and animal dander. So I had to take them down because they were huge dust collectors. These are things that are fun to look back at. Take pictures of where you live. So I was doing our routine too. So we still live in this neighborhood. So it's good to see like trash day. Take pictures of where you work. Because for instance too, these were the front doors of the offices that we used to work at. And it changes now when we look at 2022. So here was his business card and there was my business card. So those are another approach to this project is your business cards where you work. His palm tree photo. What your current routines, are you working out? I mean, I went to gym class here. What is your pampering routine or like your wash day or bath cycle look like? How many dogs do you have? For instance, this too has changed because, for instance, after this year, you won't see Kobe because he did not get along good with the baby and was a little too vicious with her. So I had to find him another home. He was our rescue. And since this album, my little Zoe here has passed away. Things that change. I was making baby food. Here we are again. This is what my house looked like when I was cleaning it. You can see high chairs and car seats. And for instance, we're not in high chairs and car seats anymore. So this changes. What's on my kitchen counter shows that she's loving. This was also why I'm changing the week that I'm doing it, because every year has been a different babysitter around this time. So I would get off at this exit and her name was Bianca at the time because I know it changes per year. doing photos. I live this one like from the hip. So I'm having her in a stroller. I have 2 dog leashes. These things tell a story for where you're at that day too. Here I am just walking 2 dogs. Like I said, I don't have 2 dogs anymore. Palm tree photo. So here's the formula. As you can see, the formula too here. We open up with the 6x8, 2 6x8s, and then I always started it with this page protector with the 2 3x4s and the 4x6. That way, anything past that, I had to figure out the best formula for it. I always do love opening up with the day of the week picture. I love that picture too. And go from there. Some of these things, if you can do it ahead of time, were done in an app. So I always had some sort of text there. So that was 2018. 2019, once again. And so looking back on it too, there was no real paper collection other than the black cardstock I used here. And also, as I noticed, there isn't that much embellishing because I didn't buy a kit. So there's some stickers, like these are happy planners. And I think the only thing I did buy was a 6x6 paper pad, which all of these came from. So that's why they're all kind of this tropical, like florally theme that I think we're all together there. So that is minimum kit requirements. This is mostly probably a stash. This time I used this kit. I don't remember the name. I think it might have been Simple Stories. And this was for a design team project. So I used the entire kit that month to do this. So I remember this one. And so it's all the pattern papers that I took and always made the opening divider. So a lot of the paper was utilized for the day of the week insert. And then I used the rest of the papers as filler cards. So here you can see Valentina is growing. A good thing about this project, if you have kids. We can also see that, like I said, I only have 1 dog now this year because Kobe just tried to bite Valentina one too many times. Taking pictures of your cars also changes sometimes. We have leases, so I know I always made it a point to change our car or take a picture of the cars because it too has changed. Here I am again documenting where I work. So it changed this year. Things that she's watching like on YouTube. Some of my text is handwritten most of the time, and sometimes it's typed. That's also just a choice. These are all from the kit. This was like a summery vibes kind of collection. And so here I am again taking the picture here of the eggs that I get off for my babysitters, because this time it was Bianca's mom watching her. Her name was Angie, and here's her at daycare with them. This year I took a stab at doing Color Street. I never did anything with Color Street selling it. I just used it for purchasing my own. So I'm still a customer, but this year, because I know it changes in the next year, I joined Color Street for a hot minute and was not successful because I never promoted it. These are again embellishments from that kit. And you can see, keeping it simple, the pattern papers are always the same, that join per day. And then the routine of the pocket page card. You can see also in these earlier ones that I use the page protectors tremendously in this album. Like, you know, I'm using them always here to house my thing. Nothing is outside of the page protector this year. And this year it seems that these were because I was using scrapbook paper. So this was my first attempt in 2019 doing things outside the page protector. These are just screenshots, like little memes from Instagram. These are alphabet stickers. So you can see how she grows, what we're into. You know, she's starting to color. Well, setting up the timers, making some collages. A lot of my journaling still at this point is just all written, and that's fine. And even this year, so look, this was the day I got my new lease of this car. So I still stayed with the Rogue. And let's just say the black Rogue, the silver Rogue, I no longer have anymore. Us food shopping together is always our routine. The toys she was playing with, because this is no longer with us. Backyard fun. Again, all these embellishments were from that kit. I think I made this whole album just using one scrapbooking collection, and that was it. And I love, like, even here, the shelves, these shelves are still in her room. There's only some books here and a few empty, you know, things. These shelves now are chock full of toys. This recliner, my breastfeeding recliner is no longer in that room. It's downstairs now. So this is a great project to see these changes in your routine. So that was those are 2 years. So This is the third year I did it. This was actually a one little word album that I never did one little word, and I used it for a week in the life this year. I just did a pom-pom. I think that might have been from Hobby Lobby. And this is 2020. So I did these cut files here. That's so funny. And I probably wanted to do more longhand journaling here. I never went back and did it, but it's fine because I have my project life too. So like I said, this is my formula with just the letter title for it and the date with my mega date stamp. Large photo is the routine, 2 large photos here. And then I still probably kept this formula of the 2 3x4s and the 1 4x6. But I did cut out on gold scrapbooking paper with my silhouette every day of the week so that it was a sparkly one. And this is a year where I can already see I'm doing a lot of different page size protectors. So here's a 3x8. Here's some things outside of the page protectors. So like I said, your style evolves, and this is why the project is the way it is. So this year, like you can see, I signed up with Monet at 2020. I actually did Monet for 2 years, but again, I'm light at promoting it. I love the products. I still purchase them, but again, I did like another consulting thing with Monet. If you don't know Monet, they sell hair care and skin care and body care at this point now too. And the products are great. They're vegan and just really good for your hair. I had good hair growth these years. Here we are going to a trampoline park. I made an out the page protector little cuppy here, which hold the receipt. And these receipts are good to hold because, yeah, the date's on there, June 15th, 2020. Kept her little bracelet from jumping that day. Here is it outside the page protector again. This year, so remember the recliner, the breastfeeding recliner is out of the room, and in the place of it, I got her a reading tent. And that was the first thing I ever did during quarantine. Like in March, I painted a mural of flowers, if you can see that, in her room that year. So see how this changes and why I love having these albums. So we couldn't go many places. So, you know, this is a beach photo. I live in Florida. Oh, I remember our washing machine broke, and to shop and make an appointment at Best Buy, you know, during COVID with the mask was just an absolute pain in the butt. You know, but I documented it. Going to the beach still. I made a flip up here. You know, no one's around us. You're definitely, you know, we're all scared at this point in 2020. This was the time where in Florida, at least, they started opening up parks again in June. So I think that was one of the things I journaled here was like, oh my God, like I found one of the parks open, because that was a hard part for me, not having a park during COVID. Making dinner. This is a great idea too, okay, especially if you cook every day for your family, or if you're single without kids, what you're making. So that day I was making lasagna. Our routines are always great in this project. What a snapshot of my refrigerator looks like with art and crafts and the snacks that we're packing. Here again is that cutout word for the day of the week. What the inside of your refrigerator looks like. Mine stocked with beer and her formula. A friend was watching her at this point. So this was, so the address, the exit stayed the same because it was our work exit for the highway, but it was Amy at that time. Saving her coloring pages. Here we are again, just outside, going for walks. We did a lot of walks during the pandemic. A lot of puzzles, what she loves right now. And even these, we've moved past this. She can do like 48 to 100 piece puzzles now. And these were the beginner ones that were like 12 pieces. Growth, progress. That's what I love about this. Here's another outside the page protector. And you can see here too, another note. I'm only using a paper collection. I do believe this one is a Paige Evans one. So I didn't buy a kit. I'm making this on my silhouette. And the papers are just from my stash. I think these might have been Studio Calico, but I'm making it work. But a lot of these papers are all Paige Evans. This one was a Tracy Reed. I remember that collection. So, you know, very minimum. Nothing's bulky or chunky. I'm using a lot of page protectors, but I started using things outside the page protectors. This is a great photo too. These are just, again, our walks. I did a screenshot of the path I took because I was always going over this one bridge over the beach and then walking along the beach, which was always fun just to get out the house every day. Finger painting. And Zoe. So this is 2020. I do believe, yes, because Maui's too. So Zoe passed away this year in this year of 2020 in October. So I'm glad I have these photos and documented her being there, because there's Zoe too, because she's no longer with us. And she was on the decline because we were actually puppy shopping that day. We went to a pet store. And this was a little, I think it was a Cavapoo. And we didn't purchase her. Maui is different than a Cavapoo. And actually this week was Father's Day. So that was that. And we went to my in-laws and had a Father's Day just lunchy brunch with Grandpa. And I think actually this 2020 should be in the front. But I think because I changed it after I made this. And then that was also the first month in June, I think, that I joined Book of the Month, because I know that was like one of the first ones I did. And then the scattering, can you see that, of toys in the living room? So that is 2020. And then we are in 2021. So this was last year. The first year I bought Ellie Edwards. So I got the album. I stamped out the week in the life. And then I just made this little tag that comes over the thing with the year. Opened up the page with just a cutout, a simple cutout. This was like a alcohol ink pattern paper, and that was packaging. This was the first year I did this repeating design. I believe it's Morgan Beal. She has done it. She's done the project like 7 years. And one year she did like her outfits of the day each day. Great approach. One year it was like her different coffee mug every day. Great approach. Someone I know did a selfie of themselves every day. I took feet pictures. This was the first year in 2021 that I started getting into gardening. And so these were constantly plants and what was already planted in my garden that I would take a different picture of each day. Yeah, so these are like my walkway pictures. I was shopping for that plant. This one I planted in our garden too. So that was a fun one. So in this year, I might be doing this, but incorporate Valentina a little bit more, because she wears dresses every day. I was already thinking that I could have just like the waist down of her skirt and her sneakers of the day, and have that, because I am doing this project this year. So that was a fun repeating thing to do each month, each morning or per day. So just where I'm standing. So I did the week of May 31st through January 6th. So that started with Memorial Day weekend. These were laser jet print transfer paper, or transparency papers, and I did print on the rougher side, but some of the ink was still splotchy, so some of it is filled in with Sharpie marker. So I just did a cursive font and printed all the days of the week on this light transparency, and that is my formula for this year. So these were the American flags. It's my neighbor across the street. He decorates his house for every holiday, so I took a picture there. And then here's Maui. Maui's our dog now, and I don't have pictures with Zoe anymore. This is, like I said, the Ellie Edwards kit. And once again, I did do my journaling handwritten. I think that's what helped me get through the project too, because I didn't have to do the extra step of typing it and then measuring it and then gluing it. I just wrote right on the cards. So here's the recliner chair now downstairs in Maui. So this just says regular day. Most of these will be from her kit, which is great, except for sometimes I added stickers from the Happy Planner. A formula thing I did every day was take a picture of the front page. It's called Today's Front Page of the newspaper. This idea was from Precisely Tazi at the time. And so we're dealing with Miami Herald had a school shooting that Monday, unfortunately. And then I love the New York Times. And it was just the stories, you know, we're still dealing with COVID this year. So a lot of things like that are still in the news. A little flip up there. Still in the page protectors, but doing the variety of outside the page protectors. Yes, here's outside the page protector, what we're eating, what we made. Yep, see, I am falling in love with gardening. So in 2021 I was going to like all the nurseries all the time. These were rubber dimensional pieces from the Ellie Edward kit. These are all the flowers that were blooming. A picture of our office. So now we own the clinic. So that is what I'm documenting here. Our routines, where she's going to daycare this time is at a facility. All the stuff I carry in my car for mom life. Here's again the New York, the newspaper clippings. Yeah, so Florida young adult getting COVID. Still dealing with COVID a lot Yeah, I'm sorry, I'm reading it too. Here's an outside a page protector of me finding a fabulous new thrift store that I love going to, and I still go to. Actually, I find such good used books there. Here's that car picture I was telling you about, because these change. I don't have that car anymore. We still have this one. Things also change in our office. So here, we were temporarily putting him in the new patient room, but now we have his current office fully furnished and decked out. This was a transition spot. It's good to see this progress. So sometimes the cards are flip ups, feet photos I love. We got our desk at the office wrapped. This one printed weird, so it was graduation time, and everyone in the graduation pictures are wearing masks. Tampa Bay time, so I think it's an election year here too, so that's what else was in the news. Our new campaign, routines. Here's all my Monet products I was using. I told you I loved it. I've done it for 2 years. I don't do it anymore, Monet. But it's nice to see that I did love the product. And I probably have all of these still because I bought everything to have a backup. Then I made Miguel fill out his card. This is also a good tip to have other voices in your album. So I gave Miguel that and said, please tell me what you use and what you do in the morning. Here we are. Oh, and it's so funny to see this. So I got to take this picture again this year because this plant right here has now grown up this whole side of our house, and it like stretches up the side of the wall. So this is a climbing Bougainvillea. I'm probably butchering that. So it's no longer even in that pot. It's in the ground and it's covering the whole wall in a year. Wow, that's good to see. The progress. You know, here we are. I did things highs and lows. Highs and lows. Yes, I try to do a different lens. Everything in my morning routine, coffee creamer, my new Yeti, what I do for Vale, getting oil changes, reading tons of books at this point in 2021. Friday, me in Maui. Let me see the lower pictures of me watering, because don't get me wrong, someone could take it. I could take a picture further away, but it tells a little bit more of an intimate view on what I'm doing. I made a collage for this day. So we had gotten sweet treats. Vale painted at daycare because her hands are blue. Sidewalk chalk, me watering my plants. That's her school at the time. We went thrifting and we had sushi for dinner. See? All one page. Here I am planting. A foot picture is always great. Here again is the newspaper. And here, bike riding at the park. Happy Meals. Park pictures. That one doesn't flip. You know, we always go to this grocery store every weekend, so these are always there, but you can see I'm wearing a mask. You can see what we're into. So Gatorade, almond milk, 2 loaves of bread, Scooby snacks. She visited my mother that weekend and stayed over. So we had a date night. Currently, cards are great during this project. Here's a bloom. This one's still blooming. I still have this plant. It's doing great. My pineapple. No, is it called pineapple hibiscus? Something hibiscus. And look, I never even did the journaling for Sunday. We went to a birthday party. So I saved the coloring page here. And on this side, it's about our refinancing of our home. And then this was a fun one that I did this year. I called it, I think Allie had it too, Stuff of Life. I kept every single receipt from that sushi, tea I drank, lunch we had. This is from the Happy Meal box, Color Street nails, Chipotle, candies. This was the hibiscus that I probably bought that you saw me planting. So that's, yep. And here's Bougainvillea is the plant I bought that week. So I call it Stuff of Life. Keep your receipts and packaging from anything you use that week. And you can make a fun collage just like this. Our new business cards. I bought a new perfume. COVID has changed everything. And I got an order in from Chewy, which is where I get Maui's dog food from. And then all my extra page protectors. So yes, I hope you've enjoyed this rather quick flip through of all of my week in the life. I hope you've gotten some inspiration and ideas on how to do it for your project. And what I also hope that you got from this is the variety that you don't have to have all of the products. You can use simple things. It doesn't need to be extensively decorated or embellished. And do this project because it shows how your life changes every year. Even if you don't do project life or memory keeping, all the additional things I do, if you do this project every year and December daily only, I think that will be enough of a snapshot to reflect on how your life and routines change throughout the years. And that is a beautiful thing because that's why I love these projects. So stay tuned. I'm making this a series, as I explained. This will be the first one, just kind of a walk through memory lane and what worked and what I like. Next will be a video on the current supplies that I'll be using and any additional things. And then I'm going to walk you truly through the process of how I go about it, maybe in a blog style for the week of that I'm documenting. I'll order my pictures and then we'll put it together. We'll put the album together. Yes. So please subscribe if you are interested in seeing these upcoming videos. There'll probably be one a week. And subscribe if you haven't done so. Give this video a thumbs up if you care to, and then hit the bell notification. That way you'll know when I upload. Thank you so much for joining me on this video. Till next time, everyone. Bye.